You may have heard the term dismissive avoidant attachment style, but what does it really mean? Well, let's break it down. This concept hails from the realm of psychology and refers to one of the ways people form bonds with others. It's shaped largely by our early childhood experiences, specifically the nature of our first relationships, usually with our caregivers. These initial interactions lay the groundwork for how we approach relationships later in life. People with a dismissive avoidant attachment style tend to value their independence and self-sufficiency above all else. They're often seen as emotionally distant, preferring to keep their feelings under wraps rather than share them openly. They might shy away from deep, intimate connections, opting instead for more casual, less emotionally taxing relationships. So, in essence, a dismissive avoidant attachment style is characterized by a strong desire for independence and self-sufficiency, often at the expense of close relationships. So, what are the specific traits that define a dismissive avoidant attachment style? Let's delve into the key characteristics that shape this unique attachment style. First and foremost, emotional unavailability is a major hallmark. Individuals with a dismissive avoidant attachment style often appear detached or distant. They may seem aloof, even in the midst of emotional situations. This is not because they lack feelings, but rather they prefer not to express them openly. They often prioritize self-reliance and independence over emotional connection, which can make them seem distant or cold. Next, there's a noticeable discomfort with intimacy. Those with a dismissive avoidant attachment style may be wary of getting too close to others. They may find it challenging to let their guard down, to expose their vulnerabilities. Intimacy can seem threatening, potentially trapping them in a web of emotions they'd rather avoid. This can manifest in behaviors such as avoiding physical closeness, limiting the sharing of personal information, or even dodging deep conversations. Additionally, there's a tendency to suppress feelings. Emotions, particularly those of a negative nature, are often viewed as unnecessary complications. So, rather than dealing with them, these individuals may choose to push them aside. They may dismiss their own feelings as well as those of others, which can lead to a lack of emotional responsiveness. This suppression can act as a protective shield, helping them maintain their perceived sense of control and independence. Lastly, these traits can significantly impact relationships. They can lead to patterns of avoidance, withdrawal, and emotional distance in intimate relationships. It can be difficult for partners to feel truly connected or secure with someone who appears emotionally unavailable, uncomfortable with intimacy, and dismissive of feelings. These characteristics can make it challenging to form deep, meaningful connections with individuals who have a dismissive avoidant attachment style. But understanding these traits is the first step towards navigating and nurturing relationships with those who exhibit this attachment style. Keep in mind that knowledge, patience, and empathy can go a long way in building bridges of understanding and connection. But how does a dismissive avoidant attachment style affect relationships? Now this is where the rubber meets the road. You see, having a dismissive avoidant attachment style doesn't mean that someone is incapable of love or connection, but it does mean that they have a different way of expressing and experiencing these emotions. This distinct approach can create a unique set of challenges within relationships. Imagine you're in a relationship with a person who has a dismissive avoidant attachment style. You're likely to encounter moments where you feel unloved or neglected. It's not because they don't care about you, but rather, their way of showing affection may not align with your expectations. They might seem distant, aloof, or unresponsive to your emotional needs at times. And in moments of conflict, they may prefer to retreat rather than engage, creating a sense of emotional unavailability. The dismissive avoidance tendency to suppress and dismiss emotions can lead to an emotional disconnect. You might feel like you're constantly chasing their affection, yet never quite catching it. It can feel like a tug of war, where you're pulling for emotional closeness and they're pulling away. But here's the kicker: understanding. Understanding your partner's attachment style can be the first step towards navigating these challenges. It allows you to see their actions and reactions from a new perspective. It's not about them not caring, but more about them protecting themselves from perceived emotional threats. Patience, too, plays a pivotal role. Change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, patience, and consistent effort to create a safe space where a dismissive avoidant can open up and connect on a deeper emotional level. It's about creating an environment where they feel secure enough to let down their guard without the fear of rejection or abandonment. While it can be challenging, it's not impossible to have a fulfilling relationship with someone who has a dismissive avoidant attachment style. By understanding their unique needs and adjusting your expectations, you can forge a deeper bond based on mutual respect, patience, and love. So, what does it mean to love someone with a dismissive avoidant attachment style? Well, it requires a good deal of patience, understanding, and respect for personal space. Individuals with this attachment style tend to be fiercely independent and may struggle with emotional intimacy. They often need more space than others and may be slow to open up or share their feelings. But loving someone isn't about changing them. It's about understanding them and providing the kind of love they need. Firstly, let's talk about patience. Loving someone with a dismissive avoidant attachment style often means playing the long game. You may need to wait for them to express their feelings or to commit to the relationship fully. It's important to remember, however, that their reluctance isn't a reflection of their feelings for you. It's simply their way of protecting themselves from perceived threats and vulnerabilities. Understanding is also vital. Try to empathize with their perspective. Understand that their defensive behaviors are not personal attacks, but are rooted in their past experiences and coping mechanisms. This understanding can help you not to take their actions personally and reduce potential conflicts. Respecting personal space is key. It's not about distancing yourself, but about giving them the room they need to breathe, to process their emotions, and to feel safe. It's about understanding that their need for space is not a rejection, but a way for them to maintain their sense of self. Maintaining your own emotional well-being is equally important. Make sure you are taking care of your own needs and not losing yourself in the process of trying to understand and support your partner. Therapy can be an invaluable tool in navigating these relationship dynamics. A professional can provide strategies and insights that can help both of you understand each other better. Open communication is essential. Encourage them to express their feelings and reassure them that it's safe to be vulnerable with you. Loving someone with a dismissive avoidant attachment style can be a journey of growth and understanding for both parties involved. It's about learning to love in a way that respects both your needs and theirs, and together, growing into a healthier, more secure attachment. In conclusion, a dismissive avoidant attachment style is a complex issue that can affect relationships in many ways. We've traversed through the labyrinth of its characteristics, discerning how it manifests in a person's behavior. People with this attachment style often seek independence, are self-reliant, and may appear unresponsive or distant in relationships. We've also delved into the impact of this attachment style on relationships. It can create a chasm of emotional distance, making it challenging for partners to connect on a deeper level. However, it's not an insurmountable hurdle. When loving someone with a dismissive avoidant attachment style, we've discovered that understanding, empathy, and clear communication are paramount. It's about fostering a safe space where they can gradually learn to trust and open up. It's about showing them that vulnerability isn't a weakness, but a strength. Understanding and patience are key when dealing with a dismissive avoidant attachment style. And remember, every relationship, regardless of attachment styles, requires effort, communication, and mutual respect.